Okay, we will start the discussion. It's already 5 minutes late. So today we'll discuss how government is intervening in business activities. What are the government's role in promoting the business? How government is interfering? What is the roles and responsibility of government in business in different industry, different policy making, and we'll understand. This is the slide I am showing the different topics. First thing, roles and responsibility, industrial policy, IDR, this act will understand, government department, then responsibility, we'll understand one by one. What is the role and responsibility of government? So government, the first thing is enacting and enforcing laws. If you are making a business in your country or other country, so you are following certain laws. Who is creating those laws? Government is responsible to create, maintain, and provide the laws what you need to follow. In any country, in any government, any organization, you have central government, state government, and there are certain things, local government, either a municipality or gram panchayat. So all these governments are having laws, and when you are operating one business, so you are following the laws, and government is responsible to implement that law, maintaining law and order. To take any example of, suppose you are providing, you are operating a factory or business, so government is responsible to provide the security to that. Like you have proper police assistant and fire assistant, medical assistant, all these things. Maintaining law and order. Providing monetary system. That means banks, loans. If you have business, you don't have any banks in that locality. So government is responsible to open the bank, all this financial institution in that locality. So these are what I'm talking about, different responsibility of government, different roles of government. Providing monetary system is providing bank, balanced regional development and growth. So between the regional development and growth of the company, growth of the economy, so government is observing and balancing everything. It's not that the company is growing, but the economy is not growing. The region, the locality is not developing. So government is balancing everything. Provisions of basic infrastructure. What are the basic infrastructure? If you have a business, so government is responsible to provide the electricity, water, roads and transport, railway, everything. So government, depending on the business size, government is responsible to do the basic infrastructure. If you don't have the transportation, roads, electricity, you cannot open a business in that. So government is working on that and responsible for those things, providing the infrastructure, supply of information. Any information you need, suppose you are setting up a production unit in your region. So you need to know what are the other similar production unit in your state, in your country. So those kind of information government is supplying you. So you will have some understanding what are the different companies or different factories or who are your competitors. Information means it could be anything regarding your competitors, regarding your environment, regarding the uh, region where you are setting up, regarding the temperature. So everything you are getting the information from the government. Government is responsible to provide such information, assistance to small scale industry. If there are small scale industry, for example, in village you have seen there are small scale people are opening the dairy farm or cultivating something. Government is promoting them, providing different subsidy, different loans, and different education on those things. So government is providing assistance to different industry. Transfer of technology. If some technology is available in a rural area in a different country, how that can be available to our country, to our region. So government is thinking to transfer. Suppose ଆଗରୁ ତମେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲ ଲୋକମାନେ ସବୁ ଚାଷ କରୁଥିଲେ ହାତରେ, ଏବେ ଆସ୍ତେ ଆସ୍ତେ ନୂଆ ଜିନିଷ ଆସିଲାଣି, ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟର ଆସିଲାଣି, ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟରରେ ଗୁଡାଏ ଇକ୍ୟୁପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇଗଲାଣି, ସିଡିଂ ହଉଛି ବି ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟରରେ, ତେଣୁ ଏବେ ସବୁ ହାତ କାମ କମି ଯାଉଛି. Then government is promoting those technology, how villagers, how our people can use new technology and get used to it. The government is promoting all those things. Bank is one thing we understood, and law and order, infrastructure, technology, information. So these are the basic thing and common thing you can understand. ତମେ ନିଜେ ଭାବିକି ବି ଲେଖିପାରିବ. What is government is going to provide? What is the government's responsibility for business organization? ତମେ ଦେଖିଛ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ସବୁ ମାନେ ବଡ ବଡ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି ସେଟଅପ୍ ହୁଏ. ସପୋଜ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ବାଇକ୍ ଚଲାଉଛନ୍ତି କିମ୍ବା କାର୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କୋଉ ଜାଗାରେ, ରତନ ଟାଟା କାର ର ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି ସେଟଅପ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟକୁ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ୍ କରିଥିବ. କେତେବେଳେ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ, କେତେବେଳେ ଆନ୍ଧ୍ର ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ, କେତେବେଳେ ଗୁଜରାଟ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ, ୱେଷ୍ଟ ବେଙ୍ଗଲ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ, ସେମାନେ ସବୁ ମାନେ ଚାହିଁବେ ତାଙ୍କ ଏରିଆରେ ହଉ, because they have to make sure all these facilities are available, what Ratan Tata is looking for. So any industry, they will look the basic infrastructure, law and order, and laws, different technology, manpower, everything is available in that region, in that locality. So government is responsible to provide all this. Then only your industrialization come, your different factories outlet will come. One more topic is industrial policy. What is industrial policy? Industrial policy is to promote the industry. Industrial policy generally refers to effect to promote specific industries that the government has identified as critical for national security or economic competitiveness. That means government is making some policies, some rules and regulations to promote certain industry in that locality. From our independence, 1947, now we got the independence. From that, there are several policies introduced. Every 5-10 years, there are policies. But 1991 is a major policy. From there, we have big industrialization in our country. So government is promoting or making different rules and regulations how industry is going to incorporate in our country. For example, government is promoting privatization and promoting liberalization. You will understand what is privatization, what is the liberalization, what is globalization. So these things are there in this chapter. In this unit, we'll explain that. So government policies are in that direction: privatization, liberalization, globalization. So 1991 policy, as I said, is very important because from that point, there are a lot of industry came into existence in the country. There is another thing in syllabus. This you remember objective type IDRA. Industrial Development Regulation Act 1951. This act came in 1951. This will come in MCQ. So most of the time you will get this as an objective type question. IDRA, Industrial Development and Regulation Act 1951, is enacted to provide for the development and regulation of certain industries. Section 2 of the said act declares that it is expedient in the public interest that union should take under its control the industries specified the first schedule to the act. In this act, what is the content of this act? This act says any industry in your country or across the country, there are a lot of rules and how they can produce, what is the trade activity they can do, what is the different activities, different policies related to trade, commerce, health, education, everything there in that act. Through that, you can manage a lot of things. This act aims to manage, coordinate, and disseminate running research. Running research means around the topic of prevention. across all the company, across in your country, whatever the company are there, you have they are doing different activities, different in small scale and large scale. So all these rules and regulations is mentioned in the act, and you are following that. You are implementing that in most of the cases where this organization is producing or existing in our country by this act. Suppose in that organization you have recruitment, you have environment related. So regarding that policy, that guidelines, that standard is mentioned in this act. There are different psychological and sociological policies which are mentioned in this act. IDRA, introduced in 1951. This act will regulate all these industrial activities, industries policies, and this will provide the growth and development, the rules and regulation guidelines of the industry. The government provides various incentives and schemes for encouraging the business activity. This is what we discussed sometimes before. What is the role of government in the industry? Government provides all these activities, the infrastructure. Infrastructure is including roads, airports, water, electricity, bridge, communication, everything. That is the main thing government is working or providing. If you don't have any of this, you don't have transport, if you do not have proper bridge and railway, you cannot set up a factory. If government is providing electricity, you can think of doing some business in that area. If government is not providing water supply, electricity, you cannot think of that. So that is coming under basic infrastructure. This is one important thing. What are the responsibility of government? And, this is one important in this unit. So remember these points. So this may come as one question. What is government responsibility in business organization in industry? Law is one thing, infrastructure is one thing. Under infrastructure you can provide lot of things. And government is providing assistance to small scale industry, technology. Then we have one more concept which is organization industry will have responsibility for the society, for the environment. for the government in other way. So we'll discuss that. We'll take a quick break here, 5 minutes. After that, we'll discuss what organization will have the responsibility for the government. So we'll talk one or two example, then you will understand what are those responsibility. We'll meet in 5 minutes after the break in the same link.